right, you should see my screen already. This is the Surfer's dashboard and the Serp Analyzer tool, the most advanced tool that we have in the toolset. And why we created that tool, because like you find a lot of value in the planner, you execute your content strategy in the content editor, and this is simple and straightforward process. So why the hell we keep the Serp Analyzer in the toolset? And most likely it is because it all started with the Serp Analyzer, and you have to know that Surfer was born to serve extremely advanced SEOs, to let them fiddle with the data, to let them dive deep into massive amount of factors they can compare, and they can make assumptions on these data. And the main principle of creating Surfer was to gather the data for people. Okay, so we focused on gathering as many factors, as many information about top 50 ranking pages to provide correlations and all of the users to make data-driven decisions, so they don't have to do the guesswork whether the content should be short or long, whether the content, like the top 10, is occupied by massive authority pages, or I can rank with a smaller website. So the Serp Analyzer is there to provide you a competitive edge against your competitors, because you know a lot about the Serp without spending hours on analyzing competitors' content, like page by page, manually scraping HTML, rendering the pages, seeing if they are okay. So this is why we keep it. And the first and the most important question is, should I use Serp Analyzer in my daily processes? It depends. And well, that's pretty obvious answer, but it really depends. Because if your goal is to go at scale and optimize as many pages as you can in a specific period of time, then the Serp Analyzer is not the best choice. But if you have a huge keyword like this one, for example, email marketing keyword, this is a huge keyword that changing just one spot in the top 10 can impact the business by far. And doing so by just adding some missing words and phrases, it may be not enough. So you have to analyze the data on a deeper level, like compare the URL structure, find out if you have specific terms from your search keyword in specific places, because and this is a great introduction to on-page ranking factors and different places that send signals. And we have a bunch of these places in pages structure. So we have these obvious strong signals like H1 in title. I should have the keyword in there. And if we go through these elements in Surfer, I will just browse the three menu on left hand side, and I will select headings, H1, and exact keywords. We will see that everyone or almost everyone have an exact in title. OptiMonster has it even twice in title. But Send Pools, they don't have email marketing in title. And what does it mean for them? They may be not targeting this keyword email marketing, and it can become a huge low-hanging fruit for them if they decide to tackle email marketing, because ranking position 12 without having email marketing in H1, let me check the title, maybe they are also missing it in the title. Yes, they are missing it in both places, title and H1. So that will be extremely easy for the Send Pools to rank higher on email marketing keyword with just adding this search term to title and H1. This is basic stuff, but this Serp Analyzer tool allows you to find these nuggets for your website. So Let's try to optimize a page sendpools.com for this keyword email marketing. They are position 12, so it is definitely a striking distance for them, and we will try to find in which places they are outliers for this particular keyword, because we have super strong keyword, super important, and if they can move from position 12 to 8, 9, or maybe higher, that will be a massive uh, influx of organic traffic for this really important keyword. And as I can see, they are explaining email campaigns. So email campaign is definitely a part of email marketing. So well, it's definitely connected, so they are not ranking by accident. So let's just try to fix their page in terms of this particular keyword. But before we do so, we can find out that there are two outliers in terms of exact keywords in title, like Freshworks and my my Emma. Okay, these two pages are over optimized in their titles. They used email marketing twice, so Google thinks, okay, they are rather spammy. They are trying to trick me. They are trying to use this most important place that sends signals to cheat on Google's algorithm by trying to squeeze too many keywords inside. And when you see something like that everyone is using it once, especially the top pages, and you are using it twice or three times, then it's a fix. It's an issue to fix. So if you see yourself outlying from the top 10 average or the majority of the top 10, basically fix it and align with with what you see in front, because these pages like first, second, third, fourth, and so on, they all have email marketing in title, while we don't. And Alex, of course, we will send the recording. It will be on YouTube as we end the stream, and of course upload and so on and so forth. So you can expect it in 24 hours from now. Okay, so we have all of these ranking factors on the left. And why I told you at the very beginning that Serp Analyzer is not there to help you work on scale, because there is a lot of manual work still. You don't have to gather the data manually, but you have to go through various elements of this tool. Like we just checked exact keywords in title, but we can analyze the whole body, and we can try to find out how many exact keywords are in body in general. But more importantly, what's their density, because some pages may be short and it is enough to provide the density on the right level to use it only 3 times per 1000, while the other guys that are super long skyscraper kind of articles, they will be required to use it 30 times. So instead of looking at exact keywords themselves, we should always look at the density from that reason. We can compare it with the number of words in total, and you can see that these two charts are kind of aligned. So this guy has 7,000 words and 51. This guy has 5,000, 6,000 words and 71. So quite a lot if there is a lot of content, but page on ranking on position 5 has half of the content as well as half of the exact keywords. So if we turn the density now, it's more or less a flat line in the top 10 that oscillates between 6 times per 1,000 and 12 times per 1,000. And as you can see, there is a trend. There is a trend in this top 10, top 50 search results that tells us more or less that having too high density of this particular email marketing keyword may hurt us, especially like this guy or this guy. they are definitely outliers. They use email marketing too frequently on their pages. While we can have an opposite situation that is about the send pools, our kind of page that we are roasting, maybe not roasting, that we are trying to help today. They are underutilizing this keyword. And if I see something like this, it definitely tells me that it will be a great idea to put more exact keywords to this page, not only in H1, but also in title and in the whole body. And they are in the greatest position ever to take over this keyword. Why? Because they are ranking high without using the term in general in the strongest places, as well as barely touching this keyword in the whole body. So what's the what's the next step if I see that I am under or over optimized? Before we dive into finding places where should I add or remove from, we should take a look at the top 10 by scrolling down to find out that there is Wikipedia ranking on position 1. And it is definitely not our competitor. We cannot compete with Wikipedia, and maybe we can compete, but we cannot optimize our content based on their content because they don't have the greatest content on earth. They are Wikipedia, so they can afford not optimizing themselves. They just use it in meta title, maybe in H1 and somewhere in description, and that's all they need. But you are not Wikipedia. So the Send Pools is. The Send Pools has actually really weak domain and poor content score, which means that they are really not so well optimized for this keyword yet ranking. So Google sees something good about this page, even though it is not optimized for a keyword. So they are already rewarded for, well, not doing what is required from them to rank for this keyword. Many of you would take blind position 12 for the email marketing keyword, but they have it even without optimizing for it. So this is something we will definitely try to investigate today, and I'm just going to tell you that we are doing this demo live. I'm not like, I haven't been studying this keyword to find this greatest example to show you these wow things and aha moments. We are doing it live. We are doing it like in a real use case. So I'm auditing this page for the first time. It's not like I've analyzed it 1,000 times so far. So you can definitely apply the same processes to your particular use case. So let's dive in. So let's remove Wikipedia from the chart. I will exclude them because, well, they are not the competitors. Let's take a look. So everyone is writing about email marketing strategies. What is it? Kind of definition and this kind of stuff. How to get started. What is it? Services and so on. So in general, we have a homogeneous set of competitors ranking for this keyword that are rather strong domains. This is important. Just take a look on the right-hand side. I will zoom in a little. You see the content score on the left and the domain score on the right. So the domain score will tell you that, well, these are big players. Indeed, they are. Neil Patel, OptiMonster, MailChimp, Sendinblue, and HubSpot, and Campaign Monitor. I don't know them, but they are also 8. So super strong domains, and our that we are analyzing has 7. So we are kind of the weakest, but definitely strong enough to rank for this keyword. And as we got rid of the Wikipedia, the rest look okay. They are definitely direct competitors, so we can start digging into the data. And What are we going to achieve? We want to find out where should we put more email marketing exact matches, because this is where we are missing out. Let me take a look at the partial keywords, and whoa, this is nice. When it comes to, oops, let me highlight the send in polls, position 12 on the chart. I would just click here, show on chart, and you see the horizontal line. So we have a reference point. We know our level, and we know what's the average, what's like, we can turn on the averages actually, and we are slightly below the top 10 average, but just slightly. That's more or less okay, especially comparing to the guy number one, send in blue. They are relatively high in partial keywords density, so it means that we can definitely go higher than we are right now. And what are the partial keywords? The partial keywords will be variations or a single keywords from the search term. So they probably mention email a lot, but not mention marketing a lot. Or they mention both, but not joined as an exact keyword. And we can find out. We can use the query words. So we've got the ratio of email, and it's high. And we've got the ratio of marketing, which is low. So as you can see, we already know that when it comes to partials, we are okay, but we are not okay with the marketing. So we have enough emails, but we don't have enough marketing, marketers, in general, variations of the term marketing. So not only we are missing exacts, but we are missing marketing keyword as well. So the goal would be to probably add marketing to places where we already have the email term to make the exact keywords count higher, if it makes sense, of course. We won't use marketing in places when it just doesn't belong to, okay? But we just made a great decision, because our task for now is not only to add exact keywords, but also focus on including keyword marketing in quite a lot of places, because our density of the marketing keyword is only 3 times per 1,000 words, while it should be around 15, 16, and definitely above the 10 times per 1,000. Let's connect it with number of words. So we have 4.7 thousand words. So we have a lot of content, and it's definitely enough. Let me clean this out. So you see, this is length. We are definitely on the spot, like a little shorter from the longest, a little longer from the shortest. In the top 10 in general, we are on the sweet spot. It could be slightly shorter, it could be slightly longer. That's okay. We are on spot, nothing to worry about. So the only task we just figured out, it is to increase these both elements: email marketing exact keyword in the whole body, and marketing keyword in general in the content as well. So there comes this information handy. Where should we put them? Where should we put them? Because we know we are missing it, and we have a bunch of places that send strong signals about the keywords placement. Like we have discussed the H1 and title as the strongest, but we also have H2s, H3s, paragraphs, image alts, and URL, for example. And we need to find out, where do we have to put these keywords? So let's take a look. We can dive in, because we've just analyzed the whole body. So let's take a look at image alts. Why not? Exact keywords in image alts. I will guess we have 0 times. Yes, we have 0 times. Oh, and this guy, HubSpot, well, they are HubSpot, so they can afford. But in general, they have way too many. They're outliers. They should remove email marketing from their image alts. Definitely, that's definitely something to consider. And after removing them from image alts because they don't belong into image alts, looking, excuse me, at the whole Serp, they should increase this number in different places where they are probably missing out. If they have so many here, they are probably lacking them in different places. But let's focus on our example, and it says we have 0 times. The horizontal line is at the very bottom, so we should definitely put 1 or 2. Looking at the top, yeah, 1 or 2 is enough, no more, no more. And the image alt, just having it once there, that will be okay. And we've got a question from Theo about explaining the query words section. So the query words section refers to the analyzed segment, which is, at this point, it is image alts. See, image alts, and we have a bunch of factors like number of characters, hidden content, number of words in hidden elements, exact keywords, densities, and so on. But we also have query words at the bottom as a nested element. And these query words will allow you to analyze density in this particular place, like image alt, as well as the count. So how many times do we have? And in the brackets, you will see what we are analyzing. So in this case, we are analyzing how many times, because it is a count, a word email appears in image alt. Okay, let's take a look at the marketing. Is 0. So yeah, you see how it works. It's pretty straightforward, I hope. Let's take a look at the place that is a bit more more about content, because in general image alts are not like the strongest place. I mean, maybe not the strongest, but the place that contains a lot of words. Okay, let's take a look at the paragraphs, and let's take a look at the exact keywords, and boom, you see this piece of chart. Let me narrow it down a little bit more. There is a relatively strong correlation. Maybe it looks better if I show the whole chart. You see, from position 8, it goes higher, 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 higher. You see there is a trend. So having more email marketing keywords in paragraphs will benefit you. Or that's my, maybe not a guess, but that's my assumption based on data. It's not out of the blue. I'm not deciding I just use more keywords. I'm telling you use more keywords because I see that there is a trend that represents that having more keywords can have impact on rankings. But having too many keywords like this guy or this guy can be harmful because they are over-optimized. They used 138 times the term email marketing in their paragraphs. That's mind-blowing. It's email marketing all over the place. This is spammy. Don't do this. You see the outlier? If we were this guy, I would tell you, reduce, get rid of them. You have too many. Google will treat you as a page that is trying to manipulate, that is spammy. Don't do it. But in our case, we have only 3. You see this little number here? It says 3 times email marketing in paragraphs. And when we compare ourselves to the position number 1 that has 49 times, it's more than 10 times. It's almost 20 times more frequently used keyword. If we, well, let's take a look at the density because that will make more sense. But in general, we have too low density too. Like, we use it only twice per 1,000 words in paragraphs, while they use it 11 times. So we have 5 times lower density comparing to the page number 1, and 3.5 times smaller density comparing to the page ranking number 4, which is OptiMonster and Neil Patel. So what do we do next? We take note that I need to add more keywords to paragraphs. And keywords in this case means that I need to increase the amount of email marketing term in paragraphs. Let's take a look at different factors. Let's take a look at headings, subheadings in total from H2 to H6. 0. You see the correlation? You see the correlation in this top 10. You see this? Do I need to explain? Let me know in the comments. Do I need to explain what's going on here? Let me know. If you have seen similar cases, like pages on the top where using a keyword frequently, okay, I will explain it. Just take a look. There's a huge correlation between having email marketing keyword frequently used somewhere in H2s, H3s, H4s, and H5s and H6s and rankings. As you can see, pages at the very bottom of the top 10, like position 10, 11, 9, 8, they have little. 2 times, 4 times, 3 times, 5 times, comparing to page number 1, 16 times. So in this particular situation, having a lot of email marketing keywords in subheadings is extremely beneficial. Yes, Alex, they have 16 times, and they are not penalized for it, which means that it's a good strategy. If they can be ranking position 2 right behind Wikipedia, remember, I can bring back the Wikipedia so you will see, and you see what's going on Wikipedia. They have 0. They are not optimized. They may be not even using headings, because we have this information as well, like how many of these subheadings are on these pages. Let's take a look. Elements. Well, Wikipedia has 12 subheadings, but any of those include exact keyword. Comparing to, let's put both, comparing to Sendinblue that has 59 subheadings, 16 of them contains exact keyword. While in our case, we only have 16 subheadings. You can see it on the purple line. I know that it's not the most visible thing on the screen right now, but okay, you see, we have it 16 times. I mean, we have 16 subheadings and 0 exact keywords in subheadings. So again, let me get rid of Wikipedia. This is crazy good. I mean, this example turned to be a real gold mine. I didn't expect that, but indeed it is a gold mine, because we have correlation. There is a, like, if you see such a trend that pages ranking below represent some values, pages ranking moderately well represent, like, I don't know, half of these values, and pages on top represent double of that value, then you see a strong correlation. There's a strong trend that having more of these in subheadings is beneficial. So in that case, Alex, you are totally right. Keyword stuffing works excellent. Well, that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea for a sales pitch to them, for them to buy Surfer. Absolutely. If anyone knows these guys, please connect me. Why not? But that's not the end of the analysis. We just figured out that we need more in subheadings, but which? Let's take a look at H2s. I told you it will be in depth. It will take more time, but it is made for these keywords, for those bold, big, hairy goals like email marketing or SEO services. This is the place where you should utilize the Serp analyzer. This is the place where you should really fill in the data and try to find out where you are missing out exactly. So not only, adding those terms, common terms from the content editor and so on, that's obvious, you have to do it. But Besides of that, you can conduct this in-depth analysis to increase your chances on taking over, or rather maybe not taking over, but finding what can be a handbrake for your website. So again, let's take a look at H2s. Bang, 7 H2s have exact keyword. In this case, 6, 4. Comparing to us, 0. What about H3s? Boom, boom. This is gold. This is gold. You see, H2s and H3s is where we spam. I mean, that's a negative wording, but maybe not spam. Is where we can find our chances to get this keyword ranking. Like, I can tell you this. Hopefully, I'm not too bold on this statement, but if the page that we are analyzing right now could potentially add 10 to 20 headings, and each of them will contain the exact keyword, they will be home. They will be home. Really, I believe that they will be in the top 10 easy, maybe even top 5, because they are really missing out. In Google's eyes, they are really not about email marketing. How can you be about email marketing not using the keyword, especially when you see such a strong correlation in headings that are full of these keywords? This is insane. I mean, it can be the most impactful thing they can do in 30 minutes for their business, really. And we had a couple of questions, so I would just quickly go over them. Pages like Wikipedia, they don't need such great on-page SEO. They have a super strong domain. They don't need to be on point. They are trustworthy already. They have nothing to prove. They just, use the title H1, and that's all they need. They will rank because they're Wikipedia. So that's why we exclude pages like this. Excluding HubSpot because they are big is not the best idea, because HubSpot is a specialist at email marketing. So even though someone has a strong domain, it's not a trigger to remove them if they have well-optimized content. And HubSpot definitely has, because they have, let's take a look at the content scores. 72. Top 3 content score. So definitely they are worth considering as competitor. Neil is not the best, but we can keep him. MailChimp is definitely a specialist, so we can keep them. They have more like a landing page here, so we could consider getting rid of MailChimp because they are different type of the page, but that's a whole different story. And I recommend you reading the blog post on surferseo.com that is about how to choose organic competitors. It will be full of golden nuggets about how to wipe out pages that you shouldn't be comparing yourself to. And we have the same question about these Amazon, Best Buys, and so on. They may have content that is not the best, but ranking high. That's okay to get rid of them, as well as Yelp. Any kind of pages, like, okay, let's spend a while on this organic competitors. So authority, like Wikipedia's, is not making like a standalone impact on getting rid of a page or not. But if there is a strong page, strong domain with poorly optimized content, get rid of them. Or if there is a page that has a different business model, like I don't know, Yelp. You have a local business, you are a lawyer, you are a dentist, you are like a local SEO person, and there is like a directory best 22 whatever. Get rid of them unless you are creating such a list. So the most important part of taking the best competitors for a comparison is to take those that have the same business model serving the same user intent. And of course, having high content score, because having high content score means that they target this keyword, means that they care about the content, means that they really spend some time researching and using those entities here and there to make it rank high. Alex asked if I would start with this kind of analysis before writing content. No, I don't think so. But it depends how much I write. If I write one piece a day, I would do it. But if I write, if I order 10 pieces a day, if I have like a bunch of writers that I need to, I need tasks for them, I would go with a content planner tool and ask them to write. And well, it depends on what's your goal, because if you are going to be holistic on the topic, and if you are trying to become an expert, build trustworthiness, establish a good source of knowledge about email marketing, I would go for the hard topics anyway, even too hard topics for my domain, because it will allow me to build this topical relevance. So it doesn't matter if there are two strong competitors and so on. I have to have it anyway. But if I'm working on my own, I'm writing on my own, and I'm trying to put my efforts in the best possible way, I would consider using the Serp analyzer before writing, because we have limited resources and limited time. That will be a good idea to take a look and maybe decide, okay, I'm not able to rank for this keyword because there are only monstrous authority pages in the top 10, so I will skip it. I will move to the different keyword and so on. That's what I have on this topic. Low authority websites with low content scores but ranking high, would I include them? No, definitely not. I would just select pages with the high content scores. If there is no one with high content scores, well, you have to benchmark to someone. So I would just select the highest content scores available. But there is no point in comparing yourself to a page that is low authority and low domain score. But there is actually one angle you can consider comparing to them, and that will be backlinks. So if they seem to have like domain score 1, they may have a few super strong backlinks that keep them high, or maybe a big PBN networks plugged in that are hidden in Ahref or different crawlers. That's also a case, but this is another like different story, and well, we could spend hours on this topic, that's for sure. But yeah, let's put a comma in here, and yeah, if there is a low content score and low domain score, don't include them in the analysis. And what's the best about simplifying these efforts is the audit, because the audit will automatically select the best competitors. The audit here is important. It's different than the audit available in the Serp analyzer. I will tell you why. So the audit will automatically select the best competitors because of their content scores. So and also the audit will extract those important elements, so you don't have to go through the correlations. You don't have to go through the charts and wiping out the wrong competitors and so on. You will be compared to top 5 pages automatically in the audit. I will show the audit in a few moments. I know we are kind of running out of time, but I will try to answer as many of your questions, because I know that questions answered help not only the person who asks, but the other 41 people listening. So why they are ranking if they have low content score? Doing something right? Yeah, they like I said, SEO is complex. We have like 500 ranking factors in here. yet it's probably not even 10% of all of the factors that influence the rankings. And except the on-page ranking factors, we have backlinks, we have domain age, we have domain size, we have domain traffic, topical authority, serving user intent, brand, behavioral signals, and many more. So what we are trying to do here with this analysis is to find patterns like this particular one that we see on the screen. This is the perfect pattern I would love to see each time I analyze using Serp Analyzer, because it has a clear message. Use the damn keyword in H3s between 7 and 9 times, period. That's the easiest conclusion you can make. So let's move forward. Holger asks how important it is to have the focus keyword in the URL. You can find out. Easy. You basically scroll down, and there is a URL segment, and you check, do I have exact keywords in the URL? Everyone has it except us. So, Holger, please tell me, what do you think? Is it important to have exact keyword in this case? I guess so, of course. And that's how you make these decisions with Serp Analyzer. You've got a question, and you answer yourself by browsing the data on the left-hand side. These questions are definitely more in-depth than how long my blog post should be. These questions are specific to SEOs. These questions are asked by people who understand a little bit more than the basics. And this tool is here to tell you, to answer your questions. It's not here to provide you a set of guidelines. It's here to answer your questions. So how to master Serp Analyzer? You have to find out, you have to learn how to ask good questions, how to ask impactful questions on SEO strategy, on optimization, because the tool will answer. But you have to know what kind of questions you can ask. And you can definitely ask him, do I need it in URL? Yes, you definitely need it. Do I need it in H3s? Yes, between 7 and 9 times. The same about H2s and H1. That's obvious, but well, it's not always obvious. So you can basically go through the data and answer your questions. That's the most that's the best explanation of the reverse engineering and Serp Analyzer tool. It will answer your questions, but you have to ask. It's not, answering without a question. You have to ask. What about having keyword 2 times? You see, again, the same situation. Who do we have in here? We have a page that is vtldesign.com, and they have it twice, and they rank position 39. Let's take a look at their scores. 39. Well, domain 6, relatively okay. Content score, so-so. But we can definitely find worse pages, like Founder Jar, 35 score, and domain score only 1 point. And what's the difference between them? First, I can notice is that they have the keyword twice in the URL, so they may be over-optimized. So you can answer yourself again. What's the impact of having email marketing keyword twice in the URL? It's definitely not a good idea, because the only page that has it is ranking 39, even though they are weaker pages with worse content score ranking higher. So, well, that's how you make decisions based on data. We run out of time. I know we run out of time, but what do you want me to show you? It's 8 minutes left. Please let me know in the comments which segment, what do you want me to disclose. In the meantime, I will show you more factors you can browse. You can browse the page speed, for example, and take a look at different factors in here, like load time. We have okay. Horizontal line is all right, but in this case, position 19, 6 seconds. So how to find out what is causing the load time being so high? So we can take a look at the total page size. And the total page size is okay. For this guy, it's definitely not. But in this case, that was the page number what? 19. Load time is high, yet page size is okay, relatively okay. 1,800 kilobytes, it's low. Maybe they have issues with the server. And yeah, in a way, they server responds in over a second, almost 1.5 seconds. So that would be a good idea to reduce that. Or these guys, 2.5 TTFB. That's way too much. So you can take a look at the page speed as well to find out if you are okay. You can take a look at the structured data, like how many structured data types do we have? 7 types, and it's all right comparing to the others. Here you will find the most common structured data types. If you scroll down, you will be able to find out what are specific structured data types embedded on these pages. So it's relatively easy to find out what's going on in here. The content score, this is pretty obvious, and it is correlating as hell. It's one of the most correlating factors I've ever seen. Pages in the top have, in general, higher content score. All right, so, well, I didn't manage to show you everything about the Serp Analyzer, but I managed to show you how you can make these decisions, how you can play with the data and figure out answers for your questions. And I believe that in the next academy training, we will discuss how long we will be waiting for the results. This is painful for almost all of the SEOs that are slightly less experienced. Like, is it going to take a week or month or today to see the impact? I will show you how you can find out if the page was indexed, if the impact is already there or it is just yet to come. We will go through the domain planner tool, which is a tool that will allow you to find these low-hanging fruits, so utilize the time you have in the best way. And that will be the topic of the next training. And before you leave, guys, let me know. I will just send a poll. If you learned something new today, please let me know. I would love to see your answers, if that was insightful for you guys or not. And so far so good. So happy to see this. Well, I can say it's a happy face of saying yes. Did you learn something new? That's definitely a happy face indicator. We have today on the stream, we have in roughly 40 people for all the time. So I really appreciate that you joined me today, and hopefully I can see you next week on the next academy. And that's it for today, I think. I would just let you know that you can extend your money back guarantee. Take a bet with us. So just click here, learn more about it. So for the people who join me on these trainings, we are extending the money back guarantee to 30 days. So you have no risk really, because in 30 days you will be able to find these great results of applying the changes based on the data from Surfer. So go check it out. Join me on these trainings. I'm 100% sure that if you join me, you will learn it, you will master it, and you will be able to make these data-driven decisions with ease for your business. So yeah, thank you so much. Really appreciate your presence and spending time with me today. That was Michał Suski, and see you next week. Have a great day, everyone.